there is a particular kind of pressure that exists only in San Francisco. It is not just the pressure of being one of the most expensive cities in the United States, or the pressure of sitting at the edge of the Pacific Rim with the entire Asian travel market accessible from its runways. It is the pressure of being the gateway to Silicon Valley, the place where the companies that have reshaped how human beings live and work are headquartered, and where the investors, executives, engineers, and entrepreneurs driving that reshaping are constantly moving in and out. The travelers passing through San Francisco International Airport are, disproportionately, people who have extremely high expectations about the quality of their environment. They build products that millions of people use every day. They live in a city that has historically defined itself by innovation and forward thinking. They are not going to be impressed by an airport terminal that feels like it was designed in the decade when their parents were in college. For years, that is exactly what parts of SFO offered them. Terminal 1, the primary domestic concourse serving some of the airport's highest volume routes, was a 1960s facility that had been patched and upgraded incrementally over the decades without ever receiving the fundamental reinvention it needed. The bones of the building were outdated. The passenger experience was, by the standards of what San Francisco's travelers encounter in their professional lives every single day, deeply mediocre. The airport knew it. The answer was the Harvey Milk Terminal 1, a $2.5 billion complete reconstruction of the facility, carried out while the airport continued operating, designed to be not just a new terminal, but a statement about what airports can and should aspire to be in the 21st century. It is the world's first airport terminal to achieve LEED Gold certification. It integrates sustainability technology, passenger wellness design, and cultural programming in ways that no other facility in American aviation currently matches. Welcome. In this video, we go inside the full reality of SFO's Harvey Milk Terminal 1, the design decisions, the sustainability engineering, the passenger experience ambitions, and the real financial and operational questions that come with building the most technically sophisticated terminal on American soil in one of the most regulated and most expensive operating environments in the world. Because there is a version of this story that is pure celebration. And there is a version that asks the harder questions. We are going to tell both. The original Terminal 1 had been serving passengers since the 1960s, a period when airport design operated under entirely different assumptions about passenger volumes, aircraft technology, security requirements, and the nature of the travel experience itself. By the time the reconstruction project was formally committed, the building was functionally obsolete in ways that incremental renovation could not address. The ceiling heights were wrong. The gate configurations were wrong. The building's relationship to natural light, which modern airport design research consistently identifies as one of the most important factors in passenger stress levels and overall experience quality, was essentially non-existent. The facility was dark, cramped, and structurally incapable of being made into what SFO needed it to be. The decision to demolish and rebuild entirely was the right call. It was also the expensive one. The $2.5 billion price tag reflects the reality of building a large, complex, highly engineered structure on an active airport campus in the San Francisco Bay Area, one of the most demanding construction environments in the United States in terms of labor costs, regulatory requirements, seismic standards, and environmental compliance. Every element of the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 had to meet not just standard airport construction requirements, but the additional layer of California environmental law and the airport's own ambitious sustainability targets. The LEED Gold certification the terminal achieved is not a marketing label. It represents a specific, rigorously verified set of performance standards across energy use, water consumption, material sourcing, indoor environmental quality, and site sustainability. Achieving LEED Gold for an airport terminal, a building type that operates around the clock, year-round, with enormous energy demands for lighting, climate control, security systems, and baggage handling, required a systems design approach that goes significantly beyond what conventional terminal construction involves. The fact that no airport terminal anywhere in the world had achieved this certification before speaks to how demanding the standard actually is. The most visually striking element of the terminal's sustainability engineering is the dynamic glass window system. Rather than using conventional static glass that either blocks light to control heat or admits light at the cost of solar gain, the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 uses electrochromic glass, panels that automatically adjust their tint in response to external light conditions and the angle of the sun. When the California sun is high and direct, the glass darkens to reduce heat gain and glare. When the sky is overcast or the sun is at a low angle, the glass clears to admit natural light. The result is a terminal that is flooded with daylight throughout the day without the heating and cooling penalty that large glass facades typically impose on a building's energy systems. For passengers, the effect is immediate. The terminal feels open, alive, and connected to the outside environment in a way that most airport buildings simply do not. The energy-efficient climate control system works in concert with the dynamic glass to manage the terminal's thermal environment with a precision that conventional HVAC systems do not achieve. Rather than simply pumping conditioned air into a large space and hoping it distributes appropriately, the system uses zone-specific delivery that targets conditioned air at the occupant level, where passengers actually are, rather than conditioning the full volume of the building's airspace. Combined with heat recovery systems that capture and reuse energy that would otherwise be exhausted, the terminal maintains comfortable conditions for passengers while consuming substantially less energy than a comparable conventional facility. The gray water recycling infrastructure adds another layer of operational sustainability. The terminal captures water used in low contamination applications, treats it, and recycles it for toilet flushing and landscape irrigation. In a state where water scarcity is a persistent and increasingly acute challenge, and where regulatory pressure on water use is consistently intensifying, this infrastructure is both an environmental achievement and a practical hedge against future compliance costs. A terminal already operating well within California's water use requirements is insulated from sudden cost exposure when the regulatory framework tightens further. The passenger experience design is equally ambitious and equally distinctive. The terminal was conceived with the philosophy that the airport experience should actively support passenger well-being, not just in the abstract sense of being comfortable and efficient, but in the more specific sense of reducing the stress and anxiety that air travel generates for a significant portion of the traveling public. The integration of museum-quality art throughout the terminal is a direct expression of this philosophy. SFO has one of the most respected airport art programs in the United States, and the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 extends that program in ways that make the terminal feel more like a curated cultural institution than a transit facility. The works on display are selected and installed to create genuine moments of engagement for passengers who have time to look, not generic decorative pieces chosen to fill wall space. The acoustic quiet zones reflect similarly sophisticated thinking about what travelers actually need. Airports are inherently noisy environments, and the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 incorporates designated areas where acoustic design and physical separation from main terminal traffic create genuinely quieter spaces for passengers who need to work, rest, or decompress before a flight. These are not afterthoughts. They are engineered elements that required serious acoustic planning to function as intended. The locally sourced dining program features concepts developed in partnership with Bay Area restaurants and food producers, giving passengers food that actually reflects the culinary culture of the region, a meaningful differentiator from the generic national chain offerings that define the food programs of most American airports. The automated bag drop systems integrated into the check-in area allow passengers to complete their baggage check-in quickly without extended staff interaction, reducing congestion and accelerating throughput. In a terminal designed to handle the high volumes that SFO's busy domestic routes generate, this operational efficiency investment pays dividends in passenger experience, even when no one consciously notices the technology working smoothly in the background. And yet, the financial and operational realities of sustaining a facility of this sophistication in the Bay Area create pressures that deserve honest examination. The $2.5 billion investment was financed through airport revenue bonds and airline contributions, creating a debt service obligation funded through fees charged to airlines and revenues generated from terminal operations. In an environment where California's operating costs are already high relative to most American airports, and where the complexity of the terminal's smart systems requires specialized maintenance and periodic technology refresh investments, the ongoing cost of operating Harvey Milk Terminal 1 is substantially higher than operating a comparable conventional terminal would be. Those costs flow through the airport's fee structure to the airlines serving SFO, and ultimately to the ticket prices passengers pay. Industry analysts tracking SFO's landing and facility fees have noted that the airport sits at the premium end of the cost spectrum for American domestic hubs, a reality that creates friction with airlines, particularly carriers serving more price-sensitive leisure travel markets, where high airport fees directly affect competitive positioning. The concern raised by watchdogs is consistent. SFO's investment in premium infrastructure, however genuinely impressive in its design achievements, creates a cost base that not every market condition will comfortably support. The Silicon Valley business travel question adds a specific dimension of vulnerability to this concern. The revenue model supporting the Harvey Milk Terminal 1's financial logic is built in significant part on the continued strength of corporate travel demand from the Bay Area technology sector. If remote work trends continue to suppress corporate travel below pre-pandemic levels, the premium yield the Bay Area market has historically generated could remain structurally lower than originally anticipated. This is not a guaranteed crisis. Corporate travel has shown real recovery, and the Bay Area remains one of the most economically active concentrations of high-yield travelers in the country. But it is a genuine and unresolved risk factor that operates entirely outside the airport's control. California's aggressive environmental mandates add another layer of operational pressure. The complex smart systems at the core of the terminal's sustainability performance require consistent, specialized maintenance to operate as designed. Any degradation in system performance that triggers regulatory compliance concerns would impose correction costs that could arrive at precisely the wrong moment during intense travel seasons. What the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 ultimately represents is a serious and admirable answer to the question of what an airport terminal can be when the people building it refuse to accept conventional limitations. It takes sustainability seriously enough to achieve what no airport terminal had previously earned. It takes passenger well-being seriously enough to engineer quiet zones and integrate genuine art. It takes the identity of its city seriously enough to put local food and local culture at the center of its commercial program. Whether all of that is worth $2.5 billion, and whether the financial model sustaining it can hold under the pressures of California's regulatory environment, airline cost sensitivity, and the uncertain future of corporate travel, those are the questions the Harvey Milk Terminal 1 will spend the next 2 decades answering. Drop a comment below. Do you think a terminal should push the boundaries of sustainability and luxury? Or should airports focus first on keeping ticket prices as low as possible? Like, subscribe to Mega Airport Works and stay with us as we track the biggest mega projects on Earth.